Welcome back to my platform, those of you that are returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day. Please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. All right. So we are going to start off with the prayer. Oh, also, just to let you guys know, if you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading, and then I will answer your question, okay? That is the way I'm answering personal questions. Again, I do have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On that platform, I'm working to getting the channel monetized. It has to go through a review process. So I've removed my financial details from down below on that platform until I get that platform approved to be monetized. I won't be able to receive super chats on it, and I removed my financial details because I am tired of people fucking cursing me and hexing my finances. So unfortunately, that causes people to miss out, but you know, it always seems like there's a group of people that fuck everything up for everyone else. So just to let you guys know, this is the platform. Welcome, Tropical Tarot. Welcome everybody coming into the chat. Just to let you know, this is the platform to ask questions on if you've got questions, okay? Because the other one, I won't be able to answer any questions until I get it monetized. So, all right, we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance. And we're asking that the archangels, our guardian angels, put a protective shield around us, keeping us safe. First of all, uncloaking this platform so that these messages can get to who they need to get to. Also, if you guys could like the video, tap the notification bell, I really appreciate it. Oh, you did? You sent a $25 donation yesterday and you didn't get a reading? Was it a super chat? Yeah, let me know if it was a super chat. If it was not a super chat, because I only saw one super chat yesterday. If it wasn't a super chat, then I can look and check with my details to see. Oh, you sent a donation. Was it on this platform or was it on the other one? On an old video. Let me see if I can Happy Thursday, you guys. Let me see. All right, email. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. If it was sent through, it just depends. Was it sent through a video? No, I totally know that you wouldn't lie. Let me see. Did you send it through a super chat? Or was it through the links? I'm not seeing anything in my email. Let's see. But yeah. Was it? And then it said thanks. Okay. Well, I trust you. I just don't see it anywhere. And I don't know like what the super thanks are. I just know what super chats are. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question. So, oh yeah, by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled, please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comment, or anybody in the chats, because that's, thank you so much, Tropical Tarot, because that's just super important. All right. So yeah, go ahead and ask your question. And while you're asking your question, I'm going to talk about the 2 books. These books are linked in the description box below. The first book is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook. This book is life-changing. It is life-changing. Oh, thank you so much. I love that. That's so cute. That little emoji is adorable. So when you guys see me using different techniques, I'm getting them from this book. So I use my abilities with the techniques from this book, and it seems to work really well. So this book has a lot of different techniques in it, but the ones that you see me use the most are the God technique, which raises me out of my ego so I can rise above whatever's going on, which is like a really important, it's just really important to be able to rise yourself up above whatever is going on. And then there is, so the God technique changes your frequency. It allows you to shift from, yeah, I definitely don't see the other 25, but, I looked at my email and I didn't see it in there. And so that's why I was wondering if you sent it through Super Chat or if you sent it, and I don't think that it came through on Super Chat, but again, so the God technique, you guys, if you're wanting to advance your spiritual journey, the Truth of God is going to help you do that. Okay. It gives you the ability to rise above what's going on. And then not only the God technique, but the, well, the joy versus anger technique, you see me use that all the time, where I'm asking yes and no questions and getting an immediate answer back. It works on clairsentience, which is the gift that everybody has, so that you can ask questions and get an answer and then not have to like wait for a sign. So you'll see me use that. And then also the mind technique gives you the ability to clear the mental thoughts and emotional baggage that you're carrying around with you so that you don't bring it into the future. And keep creating it. And then the 1 to 10 ratio, you see me use that out of this book. That's where I get 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest. I have to open the door. I'm getting to the point where this room is getting too hot during the day. So I have to just open the door a little bit, let some light, cool air come in. Okay, so then there's the mind technique, which gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions and get rid of the thoughts and beliefs that are no longer serving you. And what was the other one? Oh, the 1 to 10 ratio, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. That's starting to get better. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to answer your question. Just give me 1 second. So you guys, for those of you that want to develop yourself spiritually, the God technique, yeah, she didn't answer you. That is not right. And then for those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and others, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. The link to this book is in the description box below. I also have the link to the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck in the description box below. And I don't really feel like reading from it today. So if you guys are interested in it, you can go to yesterday's reading and just go through the beginning, because I do read from the Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And so for each, so the Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is a book that I've written with God and Vassago that will basically, it goes through the major arcana. You can dissect the tarot into 2 sections, the major arcana cards and the minor arcana cards. And so the major arcana cards are the major transitions, like the Death, the Hangman, the Lovers. And so That book will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for others. Yeah, so let me look and just make sure that I'm understanding this right. Okay, so she reached out last night. She said that her ex, hold up. Okay, it tried to like scroll a thing. Okay, so she reached out last night. She said that her ex that beat her was getting out of prison. So you felt bad and you started talking and you asked why she was not defending you to these dudes and she didn't answer you. Wow. So at the end of the call, you asked again, why didn't you defend me? And she said that she would have if we would have been together the entire 11 months. Yeah, I highly doubt that. Okay. I like highly doubt that she would have defended you. She has had already every opportunity to defend you. So, and again, what the hell does her ex getting out of... First of all, let me tell you something right now. Why is she still in communication with her exes? If an ex beat her that's getting out of prison, why is she still communicating with them? That's what I want to know. You have to understand that if somebody loved you, they would definitely not be communicating with their exes. They definitely would be defending you. And again, this is the thing. If she really loved you, she would have defended you whether you were guys were together or not. I mean, at what point does and I would be like, that's no excuse. Like us not being together the entire 11 months. So you're just going to let people, regardless, you're just going to let people talk bad on me. Oh, she was notified by the courts. Okay. I was like, damn. Well, so now all of a sudden she wants to be protected and you should stick your neck out. For this, I don't get that this ex is going to come after her, but if she's scared, maybe she should have thought about that before she pulled this. She was the victim. Yeah, I'm sure she was. But if she's scared, she should have thought about this before she decided to take all of this time to go to Sean's house every day. Like, that's what I would probably be more like, why in the hell, the whole time you were with me, you didn't value me. You didn't treat me like I was worth shit. And I would be asking questions about that. Why didn't you defend me? Why you didn't treat me like I was worth something? And then why were you going over? And I understand that some women are like, oh, I'm not going to give up my guy friends. But being realistic, when you get in a relationship, when you're friends with the opposite sex and the opposite sex, like that those people that are part of the opposite sex, that they want to sleep with you or be with you, that's kind of two-faced and shady. That's why I don't agree with women that do that at all, to be quite honest, because I think it's just backhanded and they put themselves in a situation where, things could get out of hand. And every time I've tried to be friends with a guy, they've definitely tried to come on to me or whine about me not wanting to sleep with them or whatever. And that's just my own personal experience. But I feel like mature relationships, if somebody was a mature person, and if they valued their relationship, she's going to call you in 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, let's set the 20-minute timer and let's get to work here. 9 of Swords. So this is her energy right now. She feels very depressed. Of course, I knew that she was going to be in this energy, though. Yeah, yeah, exactly, about playing you. I would be like, why all of the sudden? Because she's been screaming at you, right? So I would be asking, why all of the sudden does she want to talk? And I knew that she was going to do this. Like, I literally knew that she was going to do this. She's going to try to get back with you, and then it's going to go back into the same exact cycle. So I would definitely, plus I would be like, you know what? You just need to speak your piece to her and be like, I point blank period. If this is how you feel, I would say, I don't feel comfortable with you going to another man's house every day or 3 times a week or whatever it was. And you could say, I don't do that. Like, I've never done that to you. I've never gone to other women's houses. I've never done anything remotely like that. I feel like you've definitely broken some type of curse off of you just by walking away from this person, and now they want to come back. It's like they're not giving you any ample time because they want you to, this person, whoever Jackie is, she wants you to make a very rash decision to get back with her and start up this whole thing again. And she's just going to end up blocking your destiny. You know, once a week, he would come and walk the dog. Exactly. This is ridiculous. And why in the hell is somebody still sharing a pet with another person? This is an animal. This is not a human. This is not a human being. I would be like, I would see those things right there would be enough for me to break up with the person. I don't care how much good their sex was, how much they said they love me. I don't care how much money they have. Those incidents right there would be enough for me to be like, yeah, this is over. That's just my opinion. 2 of Cups. See, she knows that she lost a real one. I knew that she would feel this way, though. But, you know, you may want to ask her, well, if you're wanting to get back together, do you intend on still going around and hanging out with other men? And if she does, then I would be like, yeah, no, I don't want to go back into the same cycle, you know? Exactly, especially after he went to prison for 5 years, then she comes back and shares the dogs. That's not acceptable. Is this the same person that beat her? I mean, if she's just going to let this person that went to prison for 5 years, I don't know what they went to prison for, but if they put hands on her and she's just going to let this person come back, no, I don't trust that at all. I do not trust that at all. There's no way. I would be like, look, it's either the dog or it's me. It's either the dog and the ex or it's me. And if she can't, you know, if she can't make a decision on who she loves more, the animal, like, I don't see that there's any, you know, like when you have a child with somebody, there's like actual papers and stuff. After he went to prison for 5 freaking years, then he comes back and shares a dog. I think that that's really fucked up. I really do. I would definitely not be, whoa, what is this? Knight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the Knight of Swords in the reverse is a very aggressive person. And the Hierophant in the reverse, that's like a crooked judge. What in the hell? Okay, let me just ask about this. The Knight of Swords in the reverse, this is somebody, is this person, well, you may not know how old they are, but okay, this ex of hers that's getting out of prison, it's straight up, this is the energy that's coming out for them. Frequently takes advantage of others. Impulsive and opinionated. Poor judgment, overspends, frequently takes advantage of others. Always ready to start an argument. Self-destructive and emotionally immature, hurts others. This person will create problems if you don't set boundaries. She has no boundaries with people. That's what I feel like is part of the problem. Then the Judge in the reverse, if she allows this ex to come back into her life, she may end up having to call the fucking cops on him again and get him put back in jail because he's a dangerous person. Yeah, it says be open to unconventional ideas. The truth is not as it seems. Definitely not with this ex. The truth is not as it seems. It feels like to me that she's still, however, do not be paranoid or imagine problems. Cheating and deception cause divorce in the end of a relationship. I was not aware that that was on the Hierophant in the reverse. Dang. Friends will betray you with slander and gossip. Bad advice serves someone else's need. Possible loss of faith in medical professional, religious, or educational institution. Yeah. I don't like this energy of the ex. I definitely feel like for something about her is like she keeps putting you in danger. By her not defending you to whoever this ex is, she's actually putting you in danger. Because I feel like she's playing both sides here. She's telling him one thing, this ex of hers, she's telling this other person one thing, and then she's telling you something completely. Sean is the dog ex. Yeah. Yeah, she's afraid that Jeremy will come after her. Well, I would be like, go stay with Sean then. Damn. Yeah, no, I would not feel okay with this situation. I feel like the cheating and deception causes the divorce and the end of a relationship. Look, what you don't want is whoever Jeremy coming after you. The one that's getting out went for beating her. The other guy was for drugs. Oh, wow. So these are really great people. I mean, you don't even have anything remotely like that going on. Oh, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I will tell you that this does not look good. The way that it's set up right now, this does not look good. This looks like this could be multiple issues that she has. See, she's showing up as a Queen of Wands. There's going to be multiple issues that she is going to have to go through. And why should you be sticking your neck out for somebody that, again, I don't know if she has any intention of linking up with the ex that beat her, that went to jail for beating her, but she still has some type of emotional connection with Sean and to this other person. And that to me feels like it's putting your life in danger. And I'm not even joking about that. The Hierophant in the reverse is like the worst betrayal possible. Yeah, I just don't trust her. If you're going to talk with her tonight, I would be asking her about, you know, how can I trust you? How do you think I can trust you with what's already been done? And with the fact that you continue to share a pet with an ex, I would just be like, don't you think I deserve better than that? Don't you think I deserve somebody that would fully commit to me and not be spending so much time with their ex? Like, this is an animal. This is not a human being. It's one thing if like, oh, I have to go drop off my kid to my ex. That's like a normal like situation. This situation, there is nothing normal about it. Not only that, this ex of hers, Sean, is the one that keeps putting these like little, you know what it gives me the vibes of? It's like putting a bug in her ear, talking bad on you. And I don't like that energy. That's fake as fuck. This person, whoever Jackie is not being honest with you. Okay? And I don't know why, if she wants to share this dog with her ex, why doesn't she just go move back in with her ex? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because the ex will never boss up for her the way that you did. The ex is a fucking loser. Like, I'm serious. And this other person, Jeremy, I don't get that this person's going to come after her, but you know, you don't want to be around if that person does. And I feel like she does want you to be around because she's afraid that this person's going to come after her. What did she do to this other, like, what has she done to these other people to cause them to come for her like this? I also feel like she's keeping a very big secret from you. There's something that she has not told you the truth about. And whoever Sean is, the one that she shares a dog with, he talks so much shit on you, like so much, to the point where it gets, every time she goes around this ex of hers, this Sean person, she gets possessed by something. That in itself would be enough for me to be like, yeah, I can't deal with that. That's too much. Because it's her, of her own free will. Like, it's her own free will. If she wants to go around somebody that's obviously, I don't want to say they're demonic, but they are showing up lower vibrational energy, impulsive and opinionated, poor judgment, overspends, takes advantage of other people. Why would anybody go around somebody like that? Again, you can go, I'm fairly sure that you can go to court and get custody of an animal. You know what I mean? She doesn't have to share this animal with this ex of hers. And if they're a drug dealer, I don't trust them. I feel like she wants to come back to use you. That's literally what I'm getting. Yeah, and that's really sad because you don't deserve that. And if she's worried about this other person getting out of jail, the Knight of Cups in the reverse is what just flew out. So now we have the two people out here. So she's still connected. So let me see. Is this Sean's? Okay, Sean's energy is the Knight of Swords in the reverse, which is surprising because the other guy put his hands on her. This Knight of Cups in the reverse is somebody that's very jealous, possibly bipolar. This person that is getting out of jail, they're psychotic. Unfaithful in love, not capable of commitment to one person, dishonest, lives in a fantasy world. In love, he will break your heart. He may cause you to develop a long-term distrust of men. So again, that could be the energy that she's going through, but you have been nothing but kind to her. So yeah, I would be asking her when you talk to her, what are her, if her intention is to, first of all, I already get that she's possessed again, but I would be like, what is your intention with, the dog and the ex. Are you going to take the ex to court and get custody of the dog? I'm pretty sure that you can do that. Because if we find out that you can do that, then what is she doing? Can you take someone to court to get custody of a pet? Yes, you can. It says in most jurisdictions, you can take someone to court to establish ownership or possession of a pet. Though legally this is often treated as a property dispute rather than custody, which makes sense because animals are considered property rather than custody, where custody is more about children. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if she had a child with somebody, and I understand that people believe that their pets are fur babies, but realistically, it's not a human being. It says, while most states still view pets as personal property similar to a car or furniture, again, all she has to do is not give him the dog back. And it's in with the dogs within her custody. That's all she has to do. But yeah, I do feel like she does want to use you. She's afraid of this ex getting out and coming for her, which means, I mean, there's something that she's done to him that it could be just putting him in jail, but I get that there's something else that she's hiding with this Jeremy person. So I guess it just depends on the law that you're in, or I mean the state that you're in, what the legal framework is. It would be like small claims court. So let's see. Yeah, you just have to decide if you what the state's going to consider to take into consideration would be the best interest for the pet or for, the animal. The pet's well-being or best interest in certain custody cases, which is what it is. Wow. So it says, when deciding who should have possession of a pet, judges often look for indication of ownership and practical caregiving evidence. So if she were to which could be financial records, so if she's the one that takes the dog to the vet, she could get a print off of vet receipts and use that in court to get custody, or we want to say ownership, I guess, of the animal. Also, if she's the one that's paying for food and toys, she could also use that. Some animals are AKC registered. If she's the one that got the dog licensed, registered, or microchipped, that would be another one. Yes. So if you say stop talking to Sean, will she just do it behind your back? Well, it just depends. This is the thing. If you're around her all the time, how is she going to do it behind your back? That would be one thing. Also, veterinary records would be another thing. So this is what you can kind of put the ball in her court and say, look, I've looked into it, and they'll look at who's the primary caretaker, who spent the most time feeding, walking, and training the animal daily, which it feels like it's her. Stability of environment, who has housing that allows the pets and provides adequate space. Bond with children. Whether the pet provides, well, there's no children, so that's not relative. Bond between pets. If you guys have other pets, judges may prefer to keep bonded pairs of pets together to avoid emotional harm, which I completely understand that. Creating a formal pet custody agreement that outlines schedule and expenses like vet bills is a good thing. But I think that that's what she should do. I mean, she's blowing you up with text. Yeah, I think you need to really have a talk with her and be like, look, I feel like, if you feel like it's inappropriate, to me, these people, they're coming out in reverse. The Sean's coming out in reverse. So is Jeremy. When your cards come out, they don't ever come out in reverse. It's her cards that are, she's coming out as the Queen of Wands, which is not, that's like the energy of a witch, even though I know she doesn't do witchcraft. Okay, what else do we need to know? Yeah, she needs to make a decision about this pet and stop being two-faced. Because again, I would not trust the relationship if she's going to go around this Sean person. And I feel like she does want to come back with you because she wants to go on this vacation. And she also wants you to pay her bills. But then she also wants to go play with Sean whenever she gets ready, which is pretty weird to me. That is super strange. I feel like if you get back with her, you're going to be walking right back into a curse. And you're going to be walking right back into a situation where she's still connected to two very toxic people. She may end up having to, I don't know if like when people get out of jail for hurting people, see, I can't remember. I had somebody like fuck me up really bad when I was younger, and they went to jail for a month, but I don't remember there being any type of restraining order for when they got out. She needs to stay away from these people that don't serve her highest and best good. I also get that she needs to make a decision. Either she wants to be with you or she wants to be with Sean. Look, 5 of Pentacles, this is a warning. I feel like she's wanting to get back with you because she wants you to pay her bills. She wants you to be there to literally take care of her financial ruin. But yeah, I do feel, does she cheat? You have brain injury and you don't remember? Wow. I'm so sorry. That sucks. He went to prison. The restraining order is for 7 years. Okay, well, that's a good thing. Hopefully he doesn't contact her. Yeah, I mean, she's the fact that she still goes to Sean's house and interacts with this person just goes to show you that there's something that you're not fulfilling in her life. Because again, if you checked all of the boxes for her, she wouldn't be doing that behavior at all. Any woman that's like satisfied in the relationship they're in, they're not going to seek anybody outside of that relationship, whether it's emotional, sexual, or any other type of yeah, that's what I'm literally getting. So there's something within you that she feels is not satisfying enough. That's why she continues to mess around with, because I guarantee that if she didn't still have feelings for Sean, she would not be sharing this dog with them. Just like how she had this other person put in jail if she didn't have feelings for Sean. And the fact that she allows this person to bad talk you, I don't feel comfortable with that either. And she wants to continue, like, think of it this way. She wants to continue a relationship with somebody that's going to consistently bad talk you and trash you because they want to sleep with her, but I don't feel like they want to boss up for her. I do feel like there is something that's being hidden. So let me just pull another card and see. The World. Yeah. You never paid her bill but groceries, trips, and music. Okay, well, good. Then she doesn't need to rely on you. The 5 of Pentacles to the World. Can I get clarification on that? Yeah, I think you need to make it very clear with her what you want to set as a boundary, and if she's going to be able to respect that. Again, will she just go behind your back and go to Sean's house and take the dog? I don't know if I could trust her to tell the truth, to be quite honest. I don't think that I personally would be able to trust her. But yeah, when she contacts you, you need to ask her, what are her intentions for you? Like, where is she wanting the relationship to go? Does she want to get married? Like, because it seems to me like you want something more than what she's wanting. Does she want to get married? Does she want to have kids? Does she want to have a real life with someone? And being realistic, there's probably not any other men that would put up with this type of behavior, like taking the dog to the ex's house every week or whatever. And I'm sorry if that hurts the pet, but like, that's psychotic to me. That really is. Yes, these people are liars. Thank you. I literally am picking that's what's going on. And so, So, you know, other than her being a destiny blocker, because it feels to me like that's what she's doing. She's so unaware of herself. She has no idea that that's what she's doing, but she actually is pulling you off of your path. You need to ask her what her intentions are, what she wants with you, what she wants from you. And if she can't, if her answer is like, it won't let you send super chats. I'm so sorry. If her answer is like, call the things by their names. Yeah. If her answer is not, I love you, I'm in love with you, and I want to be with you, then I would be like, nah. Like, we don't need to continue this cycle. Because if you get back with her, you're just going to go back into a cycle with her. And I don't think that you can trust her to tell the truth. And I don't even think you can trust her to do the right thing with this pet. I mean, what she should have done if she really loved you and wanted to be with you, she should have done whatever. Again, I don't think that Sean's going to come demanding the pet. I don't think he can. It seems like she has the pet the majority of the time. She could show receipts for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Literally. I don't know why it's not letting you send super chats. That is fucked up. We cancel and rebuke that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you need to ask her what her intention is with you. Because she's basically standing in between you and your wish fulfillment at this point. If she doesn't want to give, like, let go of your energy, what for? You also have to look at the fact that when you came into her life, your life stopped moving forward. You know, your life stopped moving forward, which I think is a very big indication that something is not right. Yeah, it just feels like that. When you came into her life, all of your time and energy became about her. And then it wasn't that you had anything to focus on yourself. So yeah, you need to ask her what her intentions are. Will she let Sean go for real? She's saying it in text all she wants is you. Yeah, I don't believe that. If that were true, she would not have done any of the things that she's done this far. I don't believe that, not one bit. If you checked all of the boxes for her, she would not be sharing this dog with the ex, because there's really not about, it's not even really about custody. You know what I mean? Literally. It's not really even about custody. She's the one that has the pet most of the time. So, and she's the one that pays the bills and everything for the pet. I don't feel like Sean does anything. And I feel like there's something that's very untrustworthy about whoever Sean is. I don't trust their energy at all. And the fact that she doesn't stick up for you, that's also a very big indication that something is fake. So yeah. She's saying she'll drop Sean. Well, I mean, only time will tell. But I personally, let me go ask the other psychic now that I know that they're here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Maybe she gets like drugs from Sean. She gets higher than that. So I look at compatibility and they work together as like she doesn't have enough hold on herself. Yeah, she's not in alignment with what she's saying. And so she's not in alignment with even herself to be able to control how she's been. I mean, she was shown that something is definitely out of balance with her. Yeah. And that she's, I mean, she might have windows of clarity or whatever. So if he does say no to her, because she is possessed right now, I already know that. If he says no to her, is that energy gonna come after him, or I hate to say it like that, but being psychically attacked or so it's only if he willingly goes back into like covenant with her that he opens himself back up to that. Same experience against what he, Okay. So yeah. So yeah, basically, I just got confirmed what I was picking up on was that, she's not being truthful with herself. And so if she, again, I get that she's up under the influence of this negative entity again. Again, it's a different one because every time she goes around, whoever Sean is, I don't know what's going on with Sean, but something attaches to her. I also was picking up that she could be getting high when she goes to Sean. So that is another, sometimes, and I'm not going to like, please don't think that I'm dissing people that get high, but sometimes when you do get high or you drink a lot or whatever, and it could not be alcohol, it could be something else, but whatever it is, it can lower your frequency and allow things to like latch on. And so I'm getting that, what's the thing that's being hidden from you? Well, it feels to me, because I look at situations like 1 being the worst compatible, 10 being the best. She's already got possessed again by this thing, which means that if she says that she hasn't been around Sean, that's a lie, because whatever she's been doing has gotten this same type of energy attached to her. So if she's wanting to like what I was just asking the psychic, I was like, okay, well, like if he decides, not to get back with her, is he going to be up under psychic attack? And we got no. Okay, well, that means that it's only if you go willingly back into, I would call it covenant with whatever this is that she has around her, this energy that causes her to freak out and stuff like that. If you go back willingly back into the relationship with her, then you open yourself up to that. But if you don't, then you're basically keeping yourself closed off to that. So that's kind of what I'm getting. And that's what this other psychic was getting also as well, is that no, that she may think that she has the ability to not go back to Sean's or to not interact or whatever, but she's not being truthful with herself. And if she can't be truthful with herself, then she can't be truthful with you. And so I can't tell you what to do. I can just tell you what we pick up on. But I do see, the World and the Nine of Cups. This is good energy right here that you have. I would not be wasting it on anybody. And if she can't straight up, because, what I get is if you go back in this cycle with her, you're probably going to end up catching her sneaking off to Sean's house or whatever. Or you'll end up catching her in a lie, or you'll be feeling, because you're a very intuitive person, you'll be feeling that she's lying to you. And that's what I get. And so it may not be that she's intentionally doing it, but she doesn't have the ability within her to stay away from him. And for whatever reason, I'm not for sure why. Because, I asked if there was physical cheating, and I don't get that there is. But maybe it is just about smoking or something. I don't know. Okay, let's pull a couple more cards and see. And then we'll jump into the reading. Let's see. 8 of Cups. So you're being told not to walk away from your wish fulfillment, and again, I still feel like if you say no to her tonight, she's going to contact you tomorrow. I feel like this is an ongoing thing. And it could be also that she feels like she needs you for something. It could be like, she could be trying to use you as an emotional support puppy, but she already has an emotional support puppy, right? And if she can't stand up for you, if she's going to go, first of all, if she's going to say that she's not going to go see Sean, I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's true. Also, if she's going to allow other people to bad talk you, that's just a dangerous situation, especially when it comes to whoever. This Jeremy person is a psychopath. I hope that she does not communicate with that person, and I hope that she should have changed her number after all of this shit went down. Hopefully she still has that restraining order in place. But yeah, I feel like if she continues down the path that she's on, she's going to be very unhappy, and it's going to make confirmation. It's going to make you look like the perfect option, right? But still, if she can't keep custody of this dog without taking the dog back to Sean's, I don't even know what to say. Because that right there, it just shows itself. It's kind of like she's already shown her ass on this. So yeah, it's up to you what you want to do. But again, you need to ask her, why, you say that all you want is me, but why is it that you have continued to go to your ex's house and to take the dog? And how can I trust you? That would be things that I would be putting out there. How can I trust you with what we've already been through? How can I trust you to be honest with me? And how can I trust you? I would be asking her, do I even fulfill your needs? Are there needs that you have that I'm not aware of, that you have not expressed to me? The 8 of Cups says, look elsewhere for happiness. It says, take action, leave your current relationship or job. Yo, I don't think I even noticed that being part of the card's description before. So yeah, I can't tell you what to do, but I will tell you that it looks like if you get back with her, you're going to be, within the next couple of days, it's going to be back to screaming and fighting again. Which I feel like, did she do anything cheating with Mike? Is Mike another person? Holy crap, how many people does she know? Well, it definitely feels like there's emotions still there with Mike. I mean, whoever Mike is, does she have access to this person? I hope not. Okay, let me ask. Was there any cheating with Mike? Yes. I do get that there is something going on there. Interesting. So it's kind of like she has her heart open. Was your friend? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It feels like she's got her heart open to too many people. When I look at how cords attach, usually I see that cords can attach through really intense trauma bonds, like people going through really hard things together. or it can happen through sex. Those are the two main ways that I see cords attached. She's definitely got a sexual cord attached to Mike. I don't feel like you can trust Mike at all. And if it, you know, you may want, is she younger than you? You may want to ask her, like, if she's wanting an open relationship, because that's the vibe that I get. There are some people that can do, what is it called? It's not polygamy. Polygamy is when you're married to more than one person. There's some people that can do one, like monogamy, which is when you're with just one person. And then there's some people that just don't really thrive in those situations for whatever reason. It's not my place to judge. But, you know, she needs to really be honest with herself. She's 26 and you're 40. This is completely making sense to me. Okay, so yeah, she's basically younger. She has 26. That's very young. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, but you're not old. Oh my God, 40 is not old at all. Holy shit. If she's saying you're old at 40, that is crazy. Holy shit. No, you're not old at all. In fact, I consider 40 to be young. Like literally, I consider 40 to be young. Yeah, does she still continue? She came after you, exactly. Probably because you have money. You have it's not just that. You have good energy. You also have stability and you have money. And these other people that are her age, or even if they're like in their 30s, they don't have their shit together. They're, you know, her stereo, and you're cute. Yeah. Her type of person is a bad boy. You don't come off as a bad boy. You know, like how Jeremy is a bad boy. You don't come off like that to me. And so that's why I feel like there's boxes that she has in her mind that, you know, you don't check for her. So look, this is what you can do. You can decide what you want to do. I would ask her some questions. What is it that I would say, what is it that you want from me? Is this a relationship that, you know, you can ask her. I know that being 26, people are probably not thinking about getting married at 26. I definitely wasn't when I was 26, but you can ask her, where is it that you want this relationship to go? And then, you know, being like, because she maybe doesn't, sometimes you have to go through life's experiences to find out what's going to be, like, what's going to be your best relationship compatibility, right? And so for some people, it is being in a polyamorous, whatever it's called, when it's multiple people. Sometimes that's what fulfills them. You know, and I'm not saying that she's like a swinger or anything, but I do get that you want a monogamous relationship. And my right ear is ringing so loud. She may not be into monogamous relationships, or may not have had very many of them where it's committed monogamy, right? Also, I feel like she's afraid of something without you. But I also get that she's under the influence of this negative entity, which means that, you know, if she's going to continue to put herself before your needs, and I understand that we all have to love, you offered a threesome though. Yeah. Well, was it with another woman? She may not want to be with more than one woman, or a woman and a man. She may want to be with more than one man. And I'm not judging. Like, that's whatever people want to do is what they want to do. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I just feel like there's got to be respect in the relationship. You know, if you could get back with her, but what I see is going to happen is the same exact thing that you just went through. Like the same, literal same thing. And then you would be opening yourself up to being psychically attacked by this energy entity thing that's with her, which is very strange to me, because I know that she doesn't do witchcraft. So I'm wondering, how does she continue every time? Or maybe Sean does witchcraft. I mean, there are warlocks out there. I just think that there's a lot less men that do magic than women. And so in my mind, I think that that's like super rare. But how she keeps getting under the influence of this entity when she goes around him, there's something severely wrong with that. But I get that, like, if you do end up getting back with her, it's going to be the same exact thing that it was. And so that's why it's, you know, she wants two dudes. Exactly. She could want 2 dudes. Yeah. She could literally. She could want 3. These people from her past are not good for her, though. Okay. Sean is not a good person for her. No. And his finances are not right. Something about his energy is not right. Whoever Jeremy is not good for her. I don't even get that Mike is good for her. But the Queen of Wands is somebody that is very attractive. They are very attractive. I mean, it says that on the card. It says outgoing woman, attractive, healthy, fit. So she could be very attractive. You know, I feel like you just have to, when you talk to her, first of all, if she can't stay calm, if she starts to scream at you, that's a sign. Secondly, I would be asking her, where do you want this relationship to go? Because you're at the time in your life where you're not wanting to waste any more time. Like, and I'm not saying that having a child at 40 is old. No, having a child at maybe like 60 or 65 would be old, but like 40, I think that's, especially like men are still fertile. Men stay fertile till they're like fucking 80. I'm serious. It's only women that start to, and so she needs to figure out what she wants. Okay, in a relationship, she's saying that she wants only you, but I don't get that she's even being honest with herself with that. So yeah, you just need to talk to her, see what she says about Sean, and about, if she's serious about you, I would be like, if you're serious about me, and I hate to give ultimatums, but sometimes you just have to put your foot down. I would be like, if you're serious about me, stop talking to Sean and get custody of the dog or ownership, whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay. You still have him?
Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So we were just talking about your chakras, and so there is an aspect to this where you are feeling judged by God. And again, a lot of the times when we feel like we're being judged by God, God is not a judging energy. There's unconditional love there. And then you're judging yourself about the confusion of the situation, which is causing you to not feel safe. So we are going to clear the energy. Well, we are clearing the energy of those chakras, which feeling judged by God. And when it comes to this relationship, then feeling like you're judging yourself, that could be here. It could also be here. And then not feeling safe in the relationship. Because the way I look at it is that this is going to end basically whether you decide to get back with this person or not. If you do decide to get back with them, well, you just need to know that you're not being judged by God, that's just something you're feeling, but that's not actually what's happening. And if she's putting the guilt trip on you, like, make a decision right now, I think that you need time to think about it. And also, I would come up with a sheet of questions that you want to ask her, that you can ask her and have her respond and see the way that you feel. But the way that I see it is like, if you decide to get back with her, it feels like you guys will just break up again. If you don't decide to get back with her, she may still try to contact you and she may still try to want to be with you. Okay. And that's why, where she's so young, I totally understand, like, I understand her mentality, but when it comes to mature relationships, which having any type of relationship, like with one person, she needs to figure out what she wants. And when you're in your 20s, like, you're still trying to figure that out. I think it's like when people get into their 30s where they've at least made a decision or they've figured out where they want to be in their life, right? So with you knowing that information, I feel like, you can talk to her and see what she says. But if you pick up that she's lying, when you say, are you going to be able to, essentially get custody of said pet or ownership? Again, I keep calling it custody because in my mind it's custody. But okay, Marina, give me 1 second. I'm going to finish with Tropical Tarot. But yeah, like, I would go off of your intuition. If you feel like she's lying, then, maybe withstand from it. But I do feel like she's under the influence of this other energy. If you don't get back with her, you're not going to be opening. And it could be this energy, that entity, whatever you want to call it. Again, I don't like to label things as being demonic, even though they could appear that way. But that energy is a psychic attack energy. And so you may, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that she's got some explaining to do. She also, if she's going to be able to commit to you, that means that she needs to stop going to the ex's house. And then, can you trust her to not do that? Those would be the main things that I would start with. And then asking her what she wants in a relationship. Because if she doesn't want it, like, let's say that she's in her experimentation phase of her life, that's okay. Like, that is basically what the Queen of Wands is. If she's in her experimentation phase, then she doesn't really know what she wants. And so that's why when I felt like she's not really being honest with herself, now I know that, okay, it could be because she doesn't know what she wants. But yeah, when you talk to her, those would all be really, really important things to just ask her and see how you feel about it, If you give an ultimatum, will she stay away? What I feel like she's going to do is she's going to definitely try to lie to you and say that she's not going to see Sean again or whatever. That's like literally what I'm getting, is that because she's not being truthful with herself. Never talk to her. That's what Red Elephant is saying. Yeah, I want you to be able to have closure with this relationship and be able to efficiently know that you're not being judged by God. Okay. That is not even what's going on at all. If she's putting out that guilt trip energy, then she's going to put that guilt trip energy out today and tomorrow. I feel like if you give her an ultimatum, will she stay away? Probably not. She's probably still going to contact you because she's on a cycle, just like she's on a cycle with whoever, Mike and Jeremy and these other people, Sean. She's on a cycle with them of going back around them. That seems to be her pattern. Do I think that she's going to try to stay away from you? You would have to literally be like, no, I don't want to pursue this relationship any further. And so the truth of what you've seen and heard. Yeah. So it's some things for you to think on, but also I would come up with a whole sheet of things to ask her. And if her response is not, yeah, I want to move in the direction of marriage. I want to be totally devoted to you. I'm so in love with you. See, I feel like if she was so in love with you, she would have already ex-nayed Sean out of the picture long time ago and would have been like, yeah, I'm not giving you back the dog. Like straight up. The fact that she's been playing these games to me shows immaturity, but it also shows that she's not over whoever Sean is. And where I feel like these cords are attaching her to these other people, like the one to Jeremy is a trauma cord, which is not a good thing. The one to Sean is an emotional cord. And then she has one to Mike that's also a emotional and a trauma cord for whatever reason. Cords are never necessary. They're never good things. So it'll be up to you. She's going to continue to contact you. I can guarantee that. But it is saying, that the walking away, the world card, the wish fulfillment, and having to walk away from somebody to have your wish fulfillment, that still might be, what the energy is. She's afraid of the Five of Pentacles. If she pays her own bills, I don't know why she would be afraid of the Five of Pentacles. Unless she plans on getting back with this ex or this ex, then she'll be in the Five of Pentacles because they're broke losers. But other than that, I think she'll be fine financially. Wait, not this one. This ex. The Hierophant in the reverse is like not having a good judgment. She's not having good judgment. So, you can think about what you want to say. She is in the energy of being in regret, but it feels like she's just more afraid about losing stability. And, you guys had not established, she's broke. She has a lot of bills. That's exactly it. You guys had not established a really strong friendship, which I think is the cornerstone of any type of real relationship. You have to have a friendship there. She's more friends with Sean than she is with you. And that's a problem. Because people, when you're with somebody, like let's say you do get married to somebody and you're with them for like a long time, you could have times of your relationship where you fall in and out of passion. But if there's friendship there, then there's a long lasting bond. There with you guys, there was no friendship established. That's why it becomes so destabilizing. And so, yeah. About her and Mike, I get that all these other people are so low compatible for her, but you're also low compatible for her, which could mean that it's just she's at a time in her life where, Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups talks about focusing on pleasant memories and good times. Remember the good times and let go of the bad. Someone or something from the past brings you happiness, emotional relief and healing from grief and loss. First of all, Mike is not your friend. Okay. If this person says they're your friend, I would call bullshit on that. They are not your friend. And if you were to ever pick up again on you having a friend that is looking at your partner, I would be like, bro, don't look at my girl like that. Like, I would be like, nah, you're not my friend. Not if you're going to be interested in the person that I'm with. But yeah, I would also pray on it and ask Spirit to show you a sign. But know that we did clear the energy. She's not compatible with Sean. She's not compatible with Jeremy, and she's not compatible with Mike, and she's not compatible with you. So I don't know what is wrong with her picker, but it just feels like she has a lot going on with herself. And she needs to get it together. But I feel like the thing is she's going to continue to contact you until you either block her number or tell her, you know, that there is no chance of you guys getting back together, which will be something that you have to think about. Okay. All right. So I've got one more question to answer. Let me go right back. Okay, Marina, U3Z, will you let me know that you're still here? Looking into your star origins. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's such a good question. Okay, so with star origins, we're going to use the Starseed Oracle. This deck of cards is awesome. And I probably will read a little bit from the book because, you know, some of these oracle card decks, like the descriptions that come along with the cards are so good. Okay, good. You're still here. All right. So we're going to tap into your star origins. Wow. Well, you're definitely a star seed. I know that you know that. This is probably one of my favorite questions to answer. I'm also getting that, okay, you could be, when you look into the night sky, you could be really drawn to a certain constellation, or it could be a group of 3 or 4 stars you're really drawn to. If you were to study the sky, I feel like you would figure out that these stars that you're drawn to, when you look at them, they do have a connection with what's going on. You use oracles and love them. Yes, I love oracle cards. You do have a connection with them. Wait, look at this. Look at how she's looking into the star patterns. I feel like you're going to discover things about yourself. This is beautiful energy. It says it's not time yet. Things are being woven. So if you were thinking about making a decision, you're being told to wait just a little bit longer. But I'm not getting that this is a long wait. This is like a very short wait, actually. This could be about something that you want to do for a career, or maybe you're thinking about jumping into a new avenue of, maybe you want to do some type of spiritual work or healing. I feel like you're about to discover something about yourself that you didn't know before that's going to change the outcome of your decision making. So it says, in our fast, loud, reactive, comparative world where an instant response is so often expected, at times, even a currency, it can feel almost impossible to take a breath, let alone give ourselves a space to rest, wait, and reset. That's what I'm getting as a reset right here. We're so often in overdrive, expecting instantaneous results over and over again. And when guidance doesn't come at these extreme speeds, it can feel as that something's wrong. I don't get that then anything is wrong, though. I think that this is sometimes when people figure out who they are spiritually, like you could figure out that, you know, you had a lifetime in the Pleiades, in the Orions, in the Sirius. It's like in the Sirius constellation, when we figure these things out, we want to go really quick to opening up our gifts and abilities. And sometimes we just have to wait and allow them to open on their own. And that's kind of what I'm getting. It says, but often not receiving guidance in itself. When you ask for guidance and don't receive it, it can mean, wait, it's not time yet. The details are being woven. Our challenge is to keep trusting when on the surface it appears that nothing is happening, to remember that no matter how long or bitter the winter or spring. Okay, and this is very significant for you because I do feel like you're learning about being patient. It says it will always come. No matter how long, like the bitter winter is, the spring is always going to end up showing up. So it's not anything that you have to worry about. Also, I feel like with you being on your spiritual journey, you are a very old soul. You have had so many lifetimes on Earth and on other planets that are going through an ascension. So you could have a whole bunch of information that comes forward at one time. It says to remember that you don't need to solve all the world's problems in a single day, and that perhaps they'll be better solved with some perspective and a good night's sleep. This card is your permission to slip, to slow down, to switch off, and to rest. Again, you do receive a lot of messages in the dream state. I know that you feel like they're really confusing because you don't understand it, but I want you to start doing a dream journal, which means that anytime you have a dream that you remember, write it down. And anytime you dream about a certain type of person, please listen to that, because your dreams will give you verbatim, literally warnings about the future. And they'll also guide you towards things that are for your highest and best good. So yeah, this is just telling you to trust in the mystery of life, to trust that things are being woven on your behalf. It may not be happening to the timeline you like. I always tell this to people, is that it may not happen exactly when you want it to, but it is going to happen when it's meant to. I'm also getting that, like, there is a relationship that is being woven into the tapestry. So you're not going to have to wait that much longer. It says, if you gather up the patience, it will be orchestrated better than you could ever imagine. So yeah, I love that. I love that energy for you. So you're being given permission to rest, like that you can take a breather, you can relax, and know that it is being woven together for you. Spirit does have something for you. Like when it comes to doing a divine life purpose, there will be some people that their purpose is to have children. There will be some people, like, your purpose is a little bit bigger than just what the ordinary purpose is. And again, some people will take that as, oh, I'm so much better than everybody else. But no, it just has to do with your background. You've had so many lifetimes where you've had experience healing souls. I think that you do this in the dream state as well. I'm sorry. This is like the Ho'oponopono energy. Look at the earth right there. Those faces. And then that praying position. It says defenselessness, righting past wrongs and uprooting. Well, I do get that, if you are holding on to any type of feeling, like, I get that somebody needs to apologize to you, but I don't think that they're going to. I'm also getting that if you're holding on to any type of guilt, it could be from another lifetime. We're going to go ahead and call that forward to be released now. It says we're living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, which is a normal process, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. Oh my gosh, I can tell you that I, for one, go into that mode, and I have to be reminded as well that everything is not, like, it may be happening to me, but it's happening for me. I have to be reminded that. It says, if we are to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. There's so many things in the world right now that you could be viewing as like, oh my gosh, this is so wrong. This is against my culture, my belief system. This is against, what I feel is acceptable. And I feel like when it comes to politics and stuff, we just have to show some grace and mercy, because it's so out of our control. Like, the majority of it, things are going on in the world. I do feel like you're here to bring people together, though. As souls, we how do you say this word? Intrinsically. I can't say that word. Intrinsically. Well, it just says that we remember unity and yearn for it on the earth. You can think of earth as like school. We're in earth school. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. Yeah, you're gaining an understanding of what's in alignment with your higher self and what's not. And when you find things that are in alignment with your higher self, pursue them fully. When you find that something's not in alignment, and it could be a belief system, it could be a way that you view things, or something that you're thinking about. Or thinking, it could also be an expectation. Being able to release that is very important. It says crucial to remember that we can simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. Absolutely. There's nothing that you've done that you're being judged for. I can tell you that right now. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds, especially where you are very sensitive to energy, so sensitive. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. There is personal trauma, which is stuff that happens like in this lifetime that's attached to our ego, which is, our version of I. And then there's stuff that comes through our ancestry. Now, it just depends what your lineage is. Everybody's is different, but we all have ancestral trauma. Some of it could be slavery. Some of it could be be, you know, not being able to use your gifts and abilities or having to hide them in another lifetime. I do get that a big hit on that. And then we have collective trauma. That's what's everybody that's going, like everybody's going through it. So the shadow hates wounds, separation, severing wrongs, and sadness. So again, don't be afraid of your shadow. A shadow only exists to be integrated and healed. It says you may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have consciously or unconsciously inflicted pain upon others, or it could be vice versa. Like I said, it just depends. Because again, it's not just African Americans that were slaves. The Israelites were slaves at one point, and the people from India were slaves at one point. So again, you may find that there is something about slavery in your past, okay, that's coming forward to be healed. So again, there's no judgment with that. We are not our ancestors. We are the product of our ancestors. We exist because they became before us, but we are not able to make the decisions that our ancestors made on either side of the fence. I mean, I have some ancestors that were Nazis, like straight up Nazis. And so, yeah. And they fled Germany and went to Africa when the war started to not go in Hitler's favor. So we just have to look at generational trauma. And do I think I'm a bad person because of that? No, not at all. Do I think that any of you guys are bad people because of your ancestral trauma? No, not at all. I don't blame anybody for what happened in the past and what the ancestors did. Just know that it can end with you, whatever this feeling is. It says, to find a way to drop the armor around your heart and see things as they truly are for all people. To say I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it. To be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. You may become aware of patterns also that your family has been in. Like it could be a pattern of the women in your family not being treated right. It could be a pattern. It could be any pattern, but I am picking up something with the mother's side. So yeah, to be a part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict and oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the pattern that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or doing the healing work on your ancestral line. I get that both of those things. You are kind of a humanitarian. It says, how are you being called to drop your defenses and unwind past wrongs? Again, not judging is like, yes, very aware of it. Okay, good. By not judging is a really good place to start. Because again, it's not, whatever your ancestors did is not your fault. And whatever your ancestors suffered, that trauma does get passed down, but you're one of the light workers that came here to heal that because nobody else in your bloodline has been able to. Star Brothers, Horus energy. So you've definitely got a connection to ancient Egyptian. Definitely. Oh, definitely. You've had like 3 different Egyptian lifetimes. You could love Egyptian mythology. Horus's energy, the god Horus is associated with the moon and with remote viewing, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Star Brothers. I love that. Yeah, you could see through things really easy. I feel like always listen to your intuition. When you pick up that somebody is like on the bullshit, trust that they're on the bullshit, that you don't have to, like, you don't need to get second and triple confirmations of it when you see through it right off the bat. So Horus's energy is protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. It also has to do with good luck, good fortune, and abundance. I know that they didn't list that, but it does have to do with that. It says you are more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to open up to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from your benevolent beings that you're with. You have a lot of spirit guides. You have a lot of star spirit guides. And each of these different, like you've had a lifetime in the Pleiades and Sirius and Orion. Each of those lifetimes carry an energy vibration that you're going to be able to use in this lifetime. You could have been one of the Egyptian gods. because I don't get that you were a human in ancient Egypt. I get that you were one of the gods. So yeah, through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us has become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. I feel like you're doing pretty good with not blocking yourself. We've learned that we need to let go and at life alone. Like, I get that you're never alone. Even when you think you're alone, you're never alone. It's not safe to let our guard down and open our heart. The past card was just talking about letting your guard down. So yeah, the world isn't a friendly place. Those are all beliefs, and everything that's going on like in the world right now is just going to keep affirming these beliefs that don't serve you. So it says the Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, because you are, even when you're going through a difficult time. Yeah. There was a situation that I went through just recently that always used to destabilize me, but then I had never asked the question, oh, are these beings that I'm picking up on negative for me? When I found out that they're not negative for me, I was able to release all of the fear. So again, sometimes our spirit guides do not look beautiful, because they come from different planets. So it says they're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond, to call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs, and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. And hardening your heart is like not having compassion for yourself or for others, and not having any type of tolerance. And this is where this Egyptian energy is coming through. I get a really big hit on the hippopotamus. I don't know if you like hippos. The hippopotamus goddess, her name is Taweret, and she's the goddess of like childbirth. She's also a hippo. Loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, destiny, addiction, let God in. Yeah, everyone and everything's higher self is God. You could have been feeling like this feeling of falling, but it's like you're being divinely held. So I don't feel like, I also get that whatever this coping mechanism that you have, that's so hard, coping mechanism, whatever this coping mechanism that you have, it's something that you used to need to do, but I don't get that you need to do it because you've gone through an evolution. So let's see. Loosening your grip, especially when it comes to any type of old cycled thoughts that keep going around in your mind. It says, we're cyclic beings, and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and seasons. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are often those that we most need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationships, the job, the people pleasing. I get a hit on people pleasing. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy, and that's okay. You did Akashic Records and saw the 3 pyramids. Oh my gosh, this is so in alignment. Yeah, it's okay to not be able to make everybody happy. And if you have family members that are wanting you to sacrifice your happiness for theirs, you just have to understand that that's a pattern that needs to be released. The things that we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part that we're most afraid to leave empty, the part that we guard. There's so much about letting your guard down that in these cards that I think that there is no coincidence in that. It says a part that we guard and don't let grace into, but by keeping the space covered with something that doesn't serve us or clinging to it for fear of it not staying in its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles, a very good book, just to let you guys know, tells us whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. Wow, you guys, that is so freaking true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God to enter. because it is. You are connecting with your higher self. To surrender all that feels dense to the divine. Loosening your grip doesn't mean that what you're clinging to will go away, especially if you have thoughts and beliefs that are creating the situation, which if anything's showing up in your reality that doesn't feel good, there's a thought or belief there. But we create a reality with the majority of our subconscious mind, which that's the stuff we're not even aware of. So if you do become aware of these beliefs, release them. That's going to be the best thing. And if you catch yourself going back into an old belief, an old coping mechanism, maybe not feeling enough or not feeling like you can handle something, those are lies. I would be like, okay, I'm not going to lie to myself. I can handle this. It says, so what you're clinging to will go away. It may or it might stay, depending on how deep the issue is. For me, I have to work on abandonment every time it gets triggered. Will it ever go away? I hope so. But until it does, I'm going to keep working on it. So you may have something that's very deeply rooted. It says, but you can be sure that what is for you will find you. Okay. And you'll breathe easier knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. Have you ever heard of giving things to God? Whatever this is that is weighing heavy on your heart, and it could be an old trauma. It could be like, for me, I have like abandonment stuff. It could be an old way of thinking. I would be being like, okay, I'm ready to surrender this. And I'm going to do everything in my power to catch myself before I go down the rabbit hole so that I'm not just jumping, into a downward spiral of thoughts, right? Big picture thinking. I have never seen this card in this deck yet. Wow, I love that. Look at that gateway and look at all of those stars. When I was describing these few stars that you're drawn to, I was literally seeing them kind of looking like this. And I did feel like they were blue. So that's very interesting. It says Pleiades energy, which I was just talking about. Visionary, inspired ideas. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that so much. The Pleiadians are, the Pleiades is a group of, I believe it's 7 stars, but yeah, they have such good energy. Okay, the Pleiadians are our cosmic cousins, very similar to humans, I would say. They're here to remind us that it's never too late to learn new things and change the future. You're being called to be a visionary for the planet. That's what I was picking up on in the weight card. I was picking up on that already over here. That you are going to be, and it could be through art. It could be through a spiritual technique you create. It could be through a new method of healing. But you're going to be able to teach other people to process ancestral trauma and to break free of patterns. It says, you're being called to be a visionary for the planet, to take a breath, shake off what you've been taught about the world, and hold on to a new vision for humanity. You're likely a natural big picture thinker. I love that about you. I really do. We need more people like you. We really do. It says, here to generate ideas for the future. Because there are so many problems that only exist because there hasn't been somebody that's come along, Pleiadian, that hasn't come along yet to create a solution to it, right? To think of a bigger way that things could be dealt with. It says that, you're here to generate ideas for the future, here to birth a new age, which is the age of Horus, by the way. In Thelema, which is Aleister Crowley, however you say his name, his religion, which again, I'm not a religious person, but I do like Aleister Crowley. I like his poetry. I like the Thoth deck, and I like his concept of the new age of Horus, which is the age of Aquarius, which is the age that you're in right now. And we just came out of the age of Pisces, which was Jesus's time. So yeah, it's talking about the future will be woven by dream makers like you. And that's when it talked about being woven in the stars. This is why being patient with yourself is the most important thing. Allowing yourself to rest. And knowing that it's all going to come in it may not happen exactly when you want it to, like when we're like, boom, we want it to come right now, but it will happen when it's meant to. It says, by those with enough courage to question the way things have been and envision new possibilities for the planet. The world needs more artists, dreamers, inventors, and visionary thinkers. Perhaps you had an idea recently that you're being called to usher in. If so, you could end up creating your own oracle deck. Yeah, whatever this new idea is, I would pursue it. The Pleiadians are definitely supporting you on this. It says, perhaps you had an idea recently that you're being called to usher in. If so, this card is your confirmation that it is divinely guided. The Pleiadians support us in this important stage of Earth's development. They want us to know that the decisions we make today will affect the well-being of our planet and all its species. And I feel like you do think about things from, yes, a keeper of the earth. I feel like you think about things from like a bigger picture, and that's what we need. Yeah, they want us to know that the decisions that we make today will affect the well-being of our planet and all its species. So you could end up devoting time to cleaning up the planet, to helping people with animals, to helping, it could be on any level that you start this work. It's going to be very successful. They're calling on you to be a leader of the future, which means like I feel like politics is one of the things that needs more people like you, to be quite honest. I know that you're not into politics, but where I can see where the world is really lacking is like we need more dreamers and inventors and people in positions of power. It says to hold a clear vision of what is possible, to trust that vision and follow it through with daily action. You know what you can do when you come up with a dream or an idea or something that you want to do, make a bullet list where you're like, okay, well, for me to achieve, let's say you want to start a business. For me to achieve starting this business, what do I need to do? Okay, well, first of all, I've got to get a website. Secondly, I've got to get a business license. Third, I've got to get products. And then you can write off to the side, makes more bullet points, and break those big steps into smaller steps. And then just take little actions every day towards those steps. And then before you know it, you're going to be in a position to where you're already benefiting. Yes, you're very connected to the earth. Absolutely. Yeah. They want you to use your innovative thought and your new ideas on how to fix things and to create some type of healing program, some type of rehab. It could be literally anything. It says to trust that the vision and follow it through with daily action. And that way, when you break it down into smaller steps and then even smaller steps, you're not feeling so overwhelmed by it. It says to dream a new world into being, to hold your mind open and try not to worry about what others think. Some people may be like, oh, that's so weird, that's so woo-woo. But literally, those people, look at them like this, look at it like this. The people that think that you being a spiritualist is woo-woo, those are the people that need you the most, because those are the people that are not tapped in spiritually. Because if they were, then they would be like, oh yeah, they would understand you. Yeah, so it says, for it takes great courage to pave a new path, to trust a vision before it's a reality. How are you being called to step up and lead? What new ideas or creations are you being called to pursue? So yeah, I would do some meditation, some introspection, and then when it comes to releasing these old patterns, again, I don't think it matters if you take responsibility for them. If it's an ancestral pattern, something that happened to your ancestors, you're going to be able to heal that, in the now. You don't have to go live through the experience. If there was any type of trauma, you don't have to go through the trauma again to be able to heal from it. You just have to know, what it is that you need to release and then be willing to let go of it. I feel like you're going to come up with something great. And pay attention to your dreams, because that's one way that spirit communicates with you very frequently. And if you don't understand your dreams right now, still write them down, because in the future, you may get more information that helps you decode what your dreams are about. And then once you understand that, it'll be like, I feel like you're going to get a lot of downloads. Okay, so we're going to jump into the reading and just do a short one. But I loved answering that question. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Wow, the Ace of Cups. So you guys broke free from a curse. That's the energy that I was getting. Y'all could have walked away from somebody. You could have literally changed your eating habit. You could have tapped into this. Ace of Cups is a lot of God's love. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. And that was my pleasure. I loved answering that question. So yeah, you guys are so beloved by the divine. And this is something that you just need to know and trust, that God has got your back no matter what. Okay. And like how I was telling Tropical Tarot how he's not being judged, you guys need to look at it that way as well. Even if you feel like somebody is guilt tripping you or judging you, you're not being judged by God. There is only love here. I also get that this Chariot energy, you know, this is a very fast moving energy. I'm not necessarily getting police with this. I'm getting that like you have overcome some type of, you've moved past something. It's like overcoming a curse, breaking a curse, gaining victory over a financial issue, gaining victory over, like, it's like achieving a goal. And also you're earning respect in the community because you're contributing in a positive way. So yeah, usually when I see the Chariot, I'm like, oh, it's cops, but I don't get that it's cops. I get that that's your energy. Also, you don't have to push against things that you don't want. All you have to do is not focus on them. So it's not about fighting. It's not about, like, some people, when they think breaking a curse, they have to fight that curse. It's not. It's about getting things moving in a different way. Like if you figure out, and I hate to use the word curse, but if you figure out that you have a pattern on your mother, your father's side, well, gold sheen obsidian is the best crystal for breaking generational curses on the father's line, and silver sheen obsidian is the best crystal for breaking curses on the mother's line. But you know, it will take a little bit of you just clearing up your own energy in a way where you're redirecting your thoughts, so that you're not thinking the same things that your mother, your father did that would draw in that energy. You know, it's like reprogramming yourself. Knight of Cups. You guys could be very attractive right now. You could be drawing in a lot of attention from others. I get that this Knight of Cups energy could be somebody that's very attracted to you. I feel like you guys are not so focused on love right at this second. Also, you may be invited to some type of event. Maybe there was some type of curse keeping you from getting married or something. I feel like you're going to have a lot of people that want to come in and date you all at once. And it's because something's being cleared up here. Queen of Wands. You guys could be very attractive people. Very attractive people. I also get that, you know, some of you could be interested in dating a police officer, but I get that you're overcoming a major milestone when it comes to a blockage that was going on in your family. A genetic lineage is what I would say. I also get that when this Knight of Cups approaches you and wants to offer you something, you're going to be at a point where you're ready to decide what it is that you want for yourself. And it may not align with what this Knight of Cups wants. The Hermit. Yeah, because you're going within. The Hermit is not a bad card. It's never a bad card. I consider the Hermit is like when you go within and you withdraw from life to go within yourself and to find out like what it is that you truly want. Because at a certain point, like let's say you haven't figured out what you want from life or from other people yet, you could be pulling in different experiences. The universe will try to bring you a whole spectrum of things that you could experience so that you can find out what you want and what you don't want. When you go within and you withdraw, you're taking that time to find the answers within yourself, and it's helping you so that when these offers do come forward, you don't have to go down a path that's going to take you longer to get to where you want to be. 3 of Cups. Because you have, like, I get that some of you guys don't have loyal friends, but some of you guys do. Some of you guys have friends that maybe you didn't consider them to be a close friend. There's going to be a collaboration of people coming together. I also get that, like, when you retreat from your old groups of people or your old stereotypes, it opens you up to be able to draw in new experiences. You may meet a friend at a new job. You may be creating this. Three of Cups is like being able to celebrate. It's also being able to have a good harvest and a lot of abundance and a very active period. And that's why this being invited to a social event, I don't get that you shouldn't go. I just get that you're going to find out that what you want is something that's going to be long lasting. Yeah, strong friendships are very important at this time. Strong sense of community as well. And teamwork. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. I get that you have everything within you to do everything by yourself, but life shouldn't be lived completely alone. You guys are going to be very popular. Three of Swords. This Knight of Cups energy, okay, you know, you could be dealing with somebody that just got separated from someone else, or they could be walking away from somebody else. I feel like not being people's rebound is probably a good thing. Yeah, because this Knight of Cups energy, they're carrying an energy of loss with them. And I hope to God that this person did not choose somebody over you and now they regret it. Oh, please. I feel that's why I feels like, okay, I see the Knight of Cups there, but I'm not so concerned about them as far as making a comeback in your life. I don't feel like you're going to be like, yeah, you know, I want to just get back with you or whatever this is. The Three of Swords talks about incompatible lovers. This person could think that they're perfect for you, but it's just you're figuring out what you really want, the Magician. And you're standing in your power. You're not going to let anybody come in and tell you what you deserve and what you don't deserve. You get to state that. It's not up to somebody else to dictate, oh, this is what you should have. This is what you shouldn't have. Some of you guys, you know, could be like, oh, I'm done with the dating scene. Some of you guys could be getting into the dating scene. This person from the past wants to come back because they see you going through, they see that you've broken free from whatever this, you know, inhibiting curse was that they had upon you. Page of Cups. Yeah, when you're dealing with people that are focused solely on physical things and what things appear to be, not what they actually are, that's where the illusion of the physical world is. This Knight of Cups energy, they're not ready to have a marriage, a child, a wife, a fiance, or anything like that. They're just not in that space. And where you're showing up as somebody that's very attractive, this person is afraid that you're going to draw in somebody new. I mean, what would be so wrong with that? Temperance. Archangel Michael. Yeah, you can balance things. You also know that when you use balance and temperance, you don't have to, you know, like, you don't have to, I don't want to say self-sabotage, but you don't have to settle for whatever this other stuff is. You also definitely don't want to have a child with somebody that does not have their finances together. And I get that this Knight of Cups may have a cup of love for you, but they don't have their finances together. They don't have their emotional health together either. So this is one reason why, you know, you could have cut cords with them. Archangel Michael is protecting you from a situation. I can guarantee that. It's protecting your peace and your abundance and your ability to move forward. The Hierophant. So, you know, this Hierophant energy could be a religious group. Maybe this person has some type of religious or they could be a Freemason, whatever it is. They have some type of belief system that they have to follow. And maybe they want you to fit that belief system, but you're more of a spiritual person. You don't fit a structural, what I would say would be an old-fashioned structure. The Star. And this is probably what people love about you the most. I feel like your dreams for the future will come true. This is the new age of Aquarius. You're not going backwards. And there's no institution that you're going to be bound to. I feel like this Hierophant energy means that this person is going to have to give up on trying to get you to go back to them or get you. They may all of a sudden want to come in and offer you a marriage or a committed relationship when before they were full of shit. I get that this person is still on the same type of crap. They're just trying to figure out what you're going to be willing to accept or to not accept. And I feel like you should not accept bum behavior. That would be the one thing that I draw a line with bum behavior. If this person feels the need to go around other low vibrational energies, you can't control other people, and we really would not want to, because that's just too much. But just know that you can only control where you're going. You can't control where this person goes. If they go somewhere and pick up some energy that's very bad for them, you don't want them coming towards you to bring that energy to make you deal with it. That's why Archangel Michael's jumping in going, nah, this one is a star. They're on their path to their highest timeline, and that's not going to be interrupted. The Hangman. Because I feel like these people are still stuck in the age of Pisces. They're stuck in the time of, sacrifice somebody to get some gain. Somebody could be looking at you and being like, oh, well, I'll just throw them under the bus whenever I get ready. Yeah. Okay. You know what, I was watching a video earlier about the Kardashians curse, because the Kardashians are cursed. They're a very cursed family. If you look into this curse, you guys will realize there's so many people that have done videos on it, but like I was watching a video about that and how it never seems to fail. Anybody that gets with a Kardashian either has a sex change, goes insane, they get on drugs, something bad happens to them and their career is destroyed. And this last example of this curse continuing to affect people was with Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet, whatever his name is. And so this is just an example. I'm just using this as an example. You just broke free from a curse. Why go back into that? You could have walked away from somebody. Why go back into that? And also, I feel like this energy of you being the star, you don't have to do it. You don't have to sign your soul over to the devil to have this energy. You know what I mean? Yes, they do reek of it for sure. They do, because they had an ancestor way, way back that made a agreement with some type of devil or something. And as it was for all of the women in the bloodline to be beautiful, to have glamour magic, and to have basically like star power, or to be in the limelight, to be very wealthy and successful. But then the downside to that is that any man that falls in love with a Kardashian is doomed. And we can see what happened to Kanye. Kanye was not fucked up before Kim. And I'm not judging or blaming Kim. I'm blaming the curse, okay? We're just going to call it what it is. We're blaming the curse for that. And then if you go through all of the people that have been with a Kardashian, where are they at now? First of all, the Jenner dad turned into a woman. That's part of it. And then, Scott, who married Courtney, Travis Barker, all of these people, every time they get with a Kardashian, their life starts to go to shit. The lives of the Kardashians get better while their lives go to shit. And to me, that's a form of destiny swipe. Again, I would not wish that type of curse on anybody, but that's just to show you how these things continue to move to the future. It's like it goes to the next generation and then the next generation. But anybody that gets seriously involved with them gets effed up. They F around and find out. 5 of Cups. They're put into setback, grief, loss, strife, sadness, crying over spilt milk. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, wish I would have done something differently. I don't get that you carry that energy, but I get that this other person does. Anybody that gets involved with them ends up getting bad luck. So I feel like for you to maintain your star ability and your purpose, staying away from this person is going to be essential. Knight of Wands, because they're never going to come out higher than a knight. This is the energy that they always hold for people. I also get that, like, just be aware of somebody that's overly sexualized. Okay, that sex is a form of manipulation, whether and I'm not dissing sex at all. I think that sex is great between adults. It should be done, absolutely. But it is a form of manipulation. This person wants to come in and, have really good sex with you and then get your good energy so that they can exchange it for their shit energy. And you're not going to go for that. If you have sex with someone and you feel like your soul got sucked out of you, that is a sign that somebody has a demonic attachment, like an incubus. Look, Archangel Michael is protecting your happily ever after and your star power. It is being divinely protected. This is why you're not going to go backwards. I also get that, like, when you make a commitment to someone, you keep it. This other person, they want to make commitments to all these people, but they don't keep these commitments. And this is a flaw that they have. They're not a perfect person. Nobody's perfect, but I should hope that you would be wanting somebody that's in alignment with your highest and best good. And this person is only thinking about themselves. Six of Pentacles. And how they can get something off of somebody else. This person wants to balance the scales with using your energy. And that, to me, that's why Archangel Michael's showing up. So I would be thanking God and Archangel Michael for being protected, because Spirit's got you covered. Even the things that you didn't see about this person or people, now you're able to see that. And so it makes it so much easier to make this decision, because you don't need somebody coming in to use you to balance their energy out. That's not cool. I would be very offended if somebody was just coming in and using me, promising a commitment, leaving, doing stupid shit that goes against the commitment, and then playing games with my heart. So yeah, that's how I would feel. Justice. See, you're getting justice. How those scales are going to be balanced are in your favor because you use temperance. You're not just going to open your legs to any old person. And this person, they probably watch a lot of porn, or they over-sexualize women to think that their charms can work. Because the Knight of Cups is the definition of handsome and charming. Okay, what else do we need to know? Yeah, see, the relationship that you want is a fair relationship where there's equal giving from both ends and both aspects, and it's one of maturity, and it's one where you can still have the, same-sex friends, okay? Because again, I don't believe in having friends of the opposite sex unless you're on the TV show Friends, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those types of situations, I just feel like there are certain situations that are appropriate and ones that are not. And you just need to use your best discernment and know that if something's not in alignment, Archangel Michael's going to show you. That could be through an angel number. That could be through a dream. It could be through a message. It could be through any of these avenues of you receiving a download. But yeah, you'll be able to figure it out. Nine of Swords. It may leave somebody totally heartbroken and shattered, but what were they thinking? They were wanting to just use you to get balanced, which I feel like is doing you a discredit. And this person is like serious. They want to come in and get you pregnant or get pregnant by you. I feel like that would be a horrible choice to make. Because this person wants a long-lasting, something that they can completely be tethered to you and play around and fuck around with you and your energy. The Emperor. Forget that this person looks old. You guys have mastered something. You could be drawing in the perfect partner, somebody who is actually a boss. And this is why you're not going to accept lower offers. Anybody that's showing up as a queen should not be accepting a knight. Okay? That's like beneath them. Eight of Pentacles. This Emperor that comes in, they could be very successful. Also, you guys could be getting into doing something with your star ability that's going to draw in an Emperor. Yeah, you're just being told to pay attention to your dreams and pay attention also to the messages that you receive and the way that you feel. If you're about to go out with somebody and your stomach starts to hurt, or you get a headache, or you feel anything negative, I would ask intuitive questions about that. Two of Wands. Yeah, you guys are definitely moving forward. You're growing. You're looking at the world like your oyster, and you're making plans for the future. And these plans do not include being cursed with this other person, because it's like they are the curse. They are the old pattern is what I should say. And don't run back to things that just because they're familiar to you, don't run back to things that you're like, oh, I'm going to just go back to that because it's familiar to you, to me. It feels familiar, but it's not safe, right? You guys are so worthy of happiness. Like, this is why I feel like you've broken free of something. Yeah, you're going to be able to move forward without having anybody block you. Seven of Swords. And these people, every choice they make when it comes to you makes their situation worse. So even though they're not going to be able to move on, it's because they won't do anything about them being cursed. These people want you, because they, on some level, this other person knows you're a starseed. They want you to fix their problem. You can't fix other people's problems, not 100% when they're their own problem. Everyone is their own problem and the answer to their own problems. And this person wants you to commit all of your time and energy to them. And that would take you off of your purpose. It would take you off of your destiny. When you could just literally attract somebody that's a higher ranking person, maybe more mature. This person has healed through a lot of things and already has it together. Like, you don't have to settle for less. Five of Swords, because this person from the past, they're always going to put themselves first in a way that's destructive to you. And I feel like that's not fair. That's the definition of a curse right there. Having somebody sabotage you continually. Because they keep, if this person feels that they need to lower your vibration so that you can match theirs, that's a problem. Because this Emperor would never do that. And this Emperor, I don't think you've met them yet. Yeah. Whoever this is from the past, they are watching you, but they're going to stop watching you soon. I get that this Page of Swords spying on you energy is just to see if you're going to go backwards or not. You guys are not moving backwards. There's no need to. When you've already done the work to move forward and have everything that you want, why go backward? The world is completely open to you. You could be getting a new job. You could be going on a vacation. You could be traveling. You could be getting a new opportunity. I vote yes to all of this. I wouldn't take this person anywhere with you, like literally. Okay, let's get a conclusion. Wow, really? The Eight of Wands, Crossroads. Crossroads, like a dangerous place to be for these people. They're in the Ten of Swords, but you just need to know that you would be there also with them had you agreed to whatever this is. So I feel like you should move forward unencumbered, completely free, and not blocked or inhibited by these people. You don't have to answer to anybody. If somebody is like, well, trying to force you to make a decision about them real quick, that's a red flag. You know, if somebody's not going to give you the time to think things through, that's a red flag. Like they want you to make a rash decision that's going to put you in the position of being a victim or a martyr. And absolutely not. You have every right to think about the decision that you're going to make. And when it comes to important decisions like getting married, having kids, having sex, being in relationships, you don't want to just make them off of a whim or off of a temporary emotion. You know what I mean? Because that could put you in a permanent situation. And when I say that this person is a betrayer, they will betray anybody that they get with because they put themselves first to the detriment of others. Okay? And so you just need to know that you're worth more than that your happiness and peace does mean something to God, and that you guys are very respected in the spiritual and in the physical, but you have to respect yourself to get respect, right? And that means not, and I'm not telling you what to do and what not to do, but it just means doing what's in alignment with your highest and best good and following your intuition. When you get a bad feeling about somebody, listen to that. Those feelings, those intuitive nudges that come forward, they don't happen just randomly. Those are like, it's a part of the programming. It happens confirmation. It happens to inform you that something is not right. And if you don't listen to that, then you could be put in a situation that would be very uncomfortable. And I would hate to see you guys be delayed on your destiny when it's for your highest and best good for you to move forward and to stand in your power. Okay. Thank you guys for making it to the ending of this reading. I'm so proud of you for breaking this curse and for saying no to this person. Oh my gosh. It was like you could only be affected by this energy if you went right back into it, and you guys are not doing that. So remember, the 2 books that are in the description box below is The Truth of God Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook. How I deal with things on a day-to-day life is through the techniques in this book. The God technique gives you the ability to rise above whatever's going on so that you can be looking out through the eyes of your higher self, God, so that you can raise your frequency. Because some of this stuff, especially when it comes to curses, I mean, that's when anything in my life doesn't feel good, I go straight to the God technique. I rise above it. Then I go to the joy versus anger technique, and I start to ask yes and no questions and the joy versus anger works on clairsentience. It gives you an immediate response back so that you can be asking yes and no questions and actually be guided. And then the 1 to 10 ratio is great for relationships and situationships. 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest. And then it teaches you how to get to that compatibility. And then you can ask more questions when you figure out the compatibility number. And then the mind technique is such a powerful technique. It gives you the ability to clear the mental and emotional baggage that you have with you so that you don't just keep drawing in the same experiences, which whenever something doesn't feel good, I go to doing all of those techniques, and I do them pretty much in that order. So the link to this book is in the description box below. Okay. Oh, you finished The Sandman? Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you watched it. Such a great show. So life-changing. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Such a great show. Such a good show, you guys. And then for those of you that do want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, I wrote this book with the help of God and Vassago, and it is written off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot, which is this deck right here. If you learn to read this deck, these cards, you can go to any specialty deck, and when they give you the abstract picture, you'll know what the interpretation of the card means. And for like the Santa Muerte deck, they give you very abstract pictures, and then I'm glad that I have this as a reference because every other tarot deck comes off of the original Rider-Waite. So why Vassago is such a great and in high demand spirit to work with. He's an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with. But at the time that King Solomon worked with him, he wasn't viewed as very much because tarot cards did not exist. See, tarot cards are not in the Bible. Neither are oracle cards. It's basically like soothsayers, which I'm not exactly for sure what that is, and false prophets and sorcery, which I think is like the manipulation of elements and spirit binding or something like that. But again, I don't agree with spirit binding. Anyways, so again, when King Solomon worked with Vassago and learned about Vassago, Vassago wasn't of really any importance at that time. Not to say that he's not worth anything at that time, but it's just because King Solomon was wanting to use these spirits to build his temple, which he did. However, Vassago, works with divination, but more so mapping the human consciousness. Now, why the original Rider-Waite is so relevant is because while you're a human, you will go through experiencing every single card in the deck. And so that's how it maps human consciousness. That's how it can read past, present, and future. And so we created the different tarot card spreads in Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells for each of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions, like the death, the world. And so the spells that go along with them, I know the word spell sounds so scary, but these are literally prayers with God and the Holy Spirit. There's no way that you can use these spells on anybody else. They're just for you. So they help you integrate the major arcana energies of the tarot card spread. So you could use this book, like let's say you have something going on with wanting a new job. I would go to the World Tarot Card Spread. Maybe you want to draw love into your life. I would go to the Lovers Tarot Card Spread. You could use the book like that, or you could just do it in the order that the tarot card spreads and spells go. But this book starts off with an initiation with Vassago. Again, because I've learned so much from working with him and with God. And then it goes into a prayer that you can use that's much longer than the one that I do. But it's praying for you and anybody that you're reading cards for. And then it goes into a 14 Zodiac tarot card spread where you shuffle the entire deck. You pull 2 cards for each position. And each zodiac position, one of those cards is going to be your south node where your ego's at, and the other card is going to be your north node where your destiny's at. And then it gives you a little bit of information how to step into your destiny. And the psychic tarot zodiac spell that goes along with that is to connect with your destiny. It's also a money spell as well. And then it goes into, so I'll read a little bit from, I'll read from the world since I have that out. So then it goes into the other major arcana cards like the Emperor, the Empress. Let's say you want to know about money. Depending on what you associate yourself with, female or male, feminine or masculine, you could go to the Emperor, the Empress tarot card spread, and the spell will help you understand what's going on. So I'm going to go to the world, which I believe is in the back. Let me just find out what page it's on. Yeah, 258. So the Temperance Tarot card spell is a manifestation technique with Archangel Michael. I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out the sacred blue flame, the will of God of Archangel Michael. I call upon Saint Michael the Archangel to bless and protect me, my family, and my home. I give you permission to intercede on my behalf and on the behalf of my loved ones. Please come to my space and help me to clear my energy. And then you'll create holy water. I call down the sacred waters of moderation and temperance to enter this distilled water and change its form to the waters of moderation. I ask that Archangel Michael help me to charge this sacred holy water with me. I ask that the divine Holy Spirit of God bless this sacred salt through me, because you'll add the salt to the water. I manifest for myself divine purity. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit from the world, which I like the world card. It's one of my favorite. I think the star is probably my favorite card, but it's one of my favorite of the major arcana cards. So if you were having an issue with being judged, like having to go through a judgment in court, you could go the Last Judgment tarot card spell to bring about a change of position. If you want to know about your star power, you could go to the Star tarot card spread and spell. Let's see, it's 258. Okay, so the world is number 21. The answer is yes. The zodiac is Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The World Wide Web is here for you to connect and to work on. You will enter into a period of great happiness filled with positive news and positive events. Your goals and soul mission is achieved. All the pieces fall into place. An unexpected sum of money comes your way. Travel, vacation, or relocation is in your future. You gain sense of fulfillment and inner peace from helping the less fortunate. Whatever you give will be returned to you many times over. So let's see. I think I read position. So you'll shuffle the entire deck. You'll pull one card for each position. I'm going to read position 6, the self. The tarot card that is pulled for this position relates to how you feel about yourself. What powers do you hold that dominate your reality? What are your truest strengths? This card shows you at the center of your world, everything revolves around you. This card shows the most dominating energy that you hold in relation to your world. This card can reveal self-revelation and global detachments from toxic bonds with nature. If you pull the 7 of Swords for this position, you will know that you are self-sabotaging yourself. If you pull the 4 of Pentacles tarot card for this position, you will know that your birthright and inheritance are at play when it comes to what you want to manifest in the world. Your culture or heritage could be shaping who you are today. The World Tarot card represents a happy life and good health. You may intimidate others because you are a beautiful person. Know that others will want to create illusions in your reality, so do not let them. The world shows you that some type of money may be owed to you. Be aware of yourself and your surroundings when working with this energy. You may inherit a gift from a relative, such as property, or a spiritual inheritance, such as psychic or intuitive gifts. And then the World Tarot card spell is to create peace in your world. Who would not want more peace in their world? I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out the Most High God and the Holy Spirit into my personal world. I come here today to create peace in my life and in my world. I acknowledge that I am the world of my own making. My world is making with itself my life a burning ember inside the womb of the world mother, gestating my whole life. I am the world peace that I am meant to be. I create peace with the Most High God, so may it be. And that one you work with a piece of quartz crystal, which is this type of crystal. Again, it doesn't have to be that big. It could be a tiny piece of it. Okay, then in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when you have more than one of the major arcana cards come out next to each other. And again, there's probably other, there's every time that I come across a new interpretation, I do write it down, but these are the ones that I've seen the most and what it could mean. And so if you were to pull like well, any of the major arcana cards out next to each other, I would go to the back of the book and look them up individually and see what it says, and then use your discernment. It says the world tells you of something being on the World Wide Web. The whole of humanity is open to your connection and message for the world. You are confident in your own talents and abilities. The world tells you that you are a content creator or very creative and work best in a field that focuses on creativity. A large sum of money is coming your way. You have the power that you need to succeed. Your hard work is being rewarded. You may change your job or personal residence. Helping the less fortunate is part of your path. You have good news that comes from God to share with the world. Anything that you give to others will be returned to you many times over. Your goals and achievements are made and promises are kept. People are loyal and true to you. Positive events are here to stay. Good news comes your way. If you pull the world in the reverse, it indicates that you or something in relation to you is on the dark web. The world in the reverse tells you that there is no energy and a lack of enthusiasm. You underestimate your own gifts and abilities. Fear of travel and expansion keeps you small. You are too attached to your current job or residence. Your goals were not realistic and new ones need to be set. Someone is trying to turn your life upside down, especially if you were to see the world up in the reverse. Someone wants to make you homeless. There's a loss of momentum. Betrayal and humiliation rituals are being done on you. Someone wants to make you sick or ill. Someone is watching you and hating on your lifestyle, opinions, and how you show up in the world. Someone unjustly retaliates against you. So again, check this book out, you guys. It is Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. This book is superior to all other tarot books because you can use it as many times as you want, the different tarot card spreads and spells for all different situations, and it will help. Okay, and I have the original Rider-Waite, which is what we wrote the book on. I have this exact deck with the descriptions on the cards linked in the description box below. So thank you guys for spending your time with me. Oh, it wasn't available on Amazon in Canada. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I don't know if you can try to do that through America and have it sent to Canada. I'm not for sure how that works, but you might want to go to, like, if you have like Barnes and Noble, if you've got a big book chain, you might want to go there and ask if they can order it. Because I do know that you can like go to, well, at least in America, you can go to Barnes and Noble. And thank you for telling me that. I will have to look and see if I can make it available for Canada as well. I'm sure that that's probably just another thing that I have to add on there. Okay. All right, you guys. But yeah, you might be able to go to your local bookstore and see if they can do that. If not, there might be a way to get it through the US and have it sent there. But I will definitely look to see if you've been reading your copy. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I will look and see if I can expand to Canada as well. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Please like this video, share this content, tell other people about it, tap the notification bell. Also, I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On that platform, I use Oracle cards and I use tarot cards. So make sure you guys subscribe. I would watch all of the readings. Each reading is going to hold an Easter egg of knowledge for you guys to decode. Okay. I love you so much. God bless you. You guys are so welcome. Have a wonderful evening and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye.